On December 9th, 2006, 27-year-old Starsky Garcia was brutally murdered while leaving his family member's apartment in North Miami Beach. Here's the story.
Starsky was an excellent judo combatant. I was a judo teacher at Miami-Dade Community College, and his mom was going to school at night, and she brought both the brothers in to classes. He was about 5 years old when he started. He had an older sister and an older brother. He was the youngest of the siblings. They kind of lived all over town here. Mom was a single mom, so wherever there was work, whereas she would kind of situate herself around town. And they managed to, throughout the years, stay connected with me with my judo program. It didn't matter where I was, she always found the time to bring them. Starsky was a kind of kid that got along with everybody, super friendly, a little rambunctious at times, but he was a comedian at heart. He was always entertaining people and making people laugh. That was his quality. Everybody in town knew Starsky. He was a popular guy all over town. He had friends from street kids to attorneys that were his friends. So he's dearly missed by many people from many walks of life.
I just got home. Someone got hit in the parking lot of my apartment complex. There's blood coming out all over.
When you say got hit, you talking about a car?
No. I just came home. I don't know what happened. Yeah, I just got home from work.
Oh, you don't know what happened to him?
Yeah, there's blood all over. I don't know. There's a lot of blood.
Oh, so he's laying on the ground and bleeding. Is it an apartment building?
It's an apartment building, the Arbors.
The Arbors apartment?
Yeah, North Miami.
Okay, stay on the line, please. They'll be there very shortly.
On December 9th, 2006, at approximately 4:30 a.m., the body of Starsky Garcia was found laying on the ground next to parked vehicles with a pool of blood around him. The incident took place at the Arbors apartment complex, which is located at 2365 Northeast 173th Street in North Miami Beach, Florida. The apartment complex itself is about 3 different types of units. Starsky Garcia was located right in the center of those 2 apartment complexes. Starsky Garcia apparently was living in Rhode Island prior to this incident. A week prior to his murder, he had returned back to the area of North Miami Beach. When he came back to start his life over again. He had gone to a job interview. He was actually got the job on the day that he was killed. So he was ready to start his life all over again here in South Florida. During the investigation, we learned that while Starsky was in his family's apartment watching a movie, a witness had returned home from work, and as she was in the parking lot, she was looking for a parking space. She parked her vehicle and she exited her vehicle and started walking to the apartment complex where she was staying. As she did so, she noticed a black male who she described as early 20s, wearing a red baseball cap, crouched between 2 parked vehicles. And as she proceeded to walk towards those 2 vehicles, that individual stood up all of a sudden, which startled her, and she continued to walk towards the apartment complex. She never looked back, she just continued to walk. And during that time, we believe that as she was walking towards her apartment complex, Starsky left the apartment and started walking towards his car. He had to return home because his mother needed the car because the car belonged to his mom. So he went ahead and decided he was just going to leave, and he did. He walked out of the apartment complex. As far as we know, everything was fine from the time he walked out up until the time he walked towards his car or his mother's car, at which point an unknown person or persons approached and shot him once. It was a fatal shot, and he expired on the scene. Witnesses who arrived in the apartment complex about an hour prior to the incident had heard a single gunshot, but never called the police. About an hour later, at about 4:30 in the morning, another witness was coming home from work, at which time she located Starsky Garcia's body and contacted 911 and advised him of the situation.
I got a phone call from another instructor that heard his name mentioned in the news, and I immediately picked up the phone and called his mom. And I just asked, tell me it's not true. But it was. It was kind of a shocker. He was very much a part of the family, friends. Starsky is terribly missed.
But the pain that I've been going through and the emptiness that my son left in my life, nobody and no money is going to fulfill it.
It's been almost 2 years, and a mother is still heartbroken over the loss of her son, Starsky Garcia. A 27-year-old seen here with his mother in happier times was gunned down in the parking lot of the Arbor's apartment complex in North Miami Beach.
We don't have a motive as to why this occurred. As far as we know, he was well respected by those who knew him, loved by many.
It was such an oddity of how it happened and what happened. You know, him being at his brother-in-law's house and walking down the stairs, and they're hearing gunshots, and that was the end of that, you know. We're going on almost 5 years now, and Starsky is missed within the family, and it's a question of that nobody really wants to talk about it because there is no closure. There's, you know, it's a very uncomfortable subject matter. That doubt, that wondering, that trying to figure out what happened and not getting very many answers is very frustrating.
Perhaps if somebody remembers that night and remember hearing something, they'd come forward and help us bring this person to justice and bring some closure to the family.